Oh no, I don't think this is all gonna fit. I got too many concessions to make, but we're gonna try. I'm packing to go away for the summer again, and I am going to give you the list of everything that I want to bring, and then I'm gonna show you what I actually am able to pack. How many games do I have off to the side here?
At least my projects are handy.
Only 25. Oh, and wavelength.
It's not the number, it's the size.
That's true. There are too many large boxes that we want to bring. But what I figured is I'm going to tell you what I am thinking about bringing, probably starting with whatever's within arm's reach, and I'll bring up a little BGG page for reference so you can have a visual aid. And then I'm going to show you what I actually managed to fit in the box and the concessions that were made. So I'm going away for the summer, and I have different considerations this summer. Normally, when I go away for a contract, a board game contract, no, an acting contract, I try to pick games that I think might hit the table with newer gamers. But the benefit of this year is that I'm going back to do the same contract with a few people. So Pat's going to be there, Zach, she's going to be there, and also my friend Amaka is going to be there, who I know has played Rising Sun before. And so I have a whole tapestry of board gamers in Nova Scotia, plus some other people who I know who aren't working at the company.
I'll be there.
Renee's going to be there, but
Forget the person you live with?
well, we might not live together. We're trying to find a place to live, but it's hard with two cats, essentially. So, but I'll see Renee.
That's TMI.
Yeah, Renee's going to be there, and some other friends who are excited about board games are going to be there as well. And so I reached out to these friends, those who are more into the board gaming scene would know to pick some titles. And I said, here's my BGG profile. What do you want me to bring? And they listed a bunch of stuff. Burn Cycle's not coming. Anachrony is not coming, just because of the size of the box. And I think we're going to have to make some exceptions for these as well. But first off, starting with the non-negotiables, and these are the ones that Renee likes, right? Huh? How do you feel about that?
Well, I would like it to be known to the people, tell them, that you had all of this already packed. It was already in boxes, and there was no room for anything I liked.
I needed to see what the space would be like.
And I had to squeeze in this tiny little space, one little sliver of a spot left.
Okay, squeezing in a little sliver of the spot.
Just the same as the amount of joy I'll derive from this summer by the looks of things.
For the record, this is what Renee had to squeeze in.
Yeah, and if you
this giant Rococo box.
If you prioritize my needs, you might have been able to account for that. Let it be known for the record, Chris is probably going to drive away and forget me.
Well, if it made more space for games, you could take a flight. First off, we'll start with Rococo. I do want to bring Rococo because I quite enjoy this game a lot. I kind of want to do a review on it. And Renee and I enjoy playing it. It is a huge table sprawl. Let's get it up on the screen. This is what it looks like. It's a beautiful production. Yeah, now give me the full board. Yeah, but this board is very large, so it takes up a lot of table space, and hence a lot of this room. It also has a bunch of the expansions in it, which we've only played base Rococo, so I'd like to play it with like the jewelry box expansion, and then get it to the table. So Rococo's in. Rococo's definitely in. We will play this over the summer. Number one, for sure, in the bag.
I don't know what game screams summer more than Renaissance 18th century textiles, but I know I'm down to have a good time.
That's Rococo. And speaking of Renee, you know what was not requested by Renee, but was requested by Pat, which Renee will enjoy.
That's because it was already in the box.
So this one for sure in Chinatown, one of Renee's favorites. That's going to be in the box. That's two already for Renee.
Again,
so
the game of the summer. I'm going to sweat it out in a packed alleyway over some wholesale fish.
Anyway, Chinatown, for those of you who don't know, and it's been re-implemented. It's been re-implemented by Waterfall Park. Oh, I think I saw people walking around with this. I forgot that this was the box. Yeah, Waterfall Park is basically the same game. You want to see what Waterfall Park looks like? This is what Waterfall Park looks like, Renee. A little bit different than Chinatown. It's kind of like two block. I think I like the, it's also only in 2 sections, whereas Chinatown's board is like 5 sections, which, well, that's not, right? You have the 5 different sections in Chinatown's board, or 6 different sections, whereas in Waterfall Park, you just have 2 sections. So maybe there's more negotiation because there's more like adjacency. Anyway, Chinatown's in. What's next? This, which I haven't even gotten out of the shrink yet, but I'm gonna right now, so you'd never know. Perfect, my well-played copy of Grand Austria Hotel, which is a phenomenal game. It's ranked 63 on Board Game Geek right now. That's kind of cool. You're servicing clientele at the oldest establishment known to man, a hotel. I think that's the theme. I really like the dice in this. You roll a bunch of dice, and then the efficacy of your action is determined by the dice. Renee quite enjoys this one. I quite enjoy this one. And now we have our own copy, and I'm excited. It plays up to 4, so not that bad. This one's more of like a myself and Renee consideration, but I would play it with the cast as well.
What one? Grand Austria Hotel?
Yeah.
What are you, gatekeeping good games?
No.
You're gonna make them play boring ones?
Well, no, just
they not earned your ultimate fun.
It's only 4 players, and it might, I don't know if it's gonna be too complicated.
What are you gonna play with them? What's the amuse-bouche of the night?
Tammany Hall.
Oh my god.
That's true. It's not the amuse-bouche.
It's me in the eye with a fork.
Tammany Hall is fun. Have you played Tammany Hall?
No, you said I would hate it.
It's kind of like Chinatown. But it's area control.
All I know is I was in the same place at the same time you were playing it, and it took you guys like 5 hours, and you never stopped talking once. So it sounds like horrible.
Speaking of, sounds like you in this video.
How dare you?
Anyway, Grand Austria Hotel is going to be good. Tammany Hall was another Pat recommendation. Honestly, it's all the way across the room, so you're just going to see it here. Pat's pick. Did I tell you about Pat's movie ranking criteria? He has a whole spreadsheet of all the movies that he's watched, and he ranks them pink, which is really great, blue, which is like very good, regular pink, which is okay, hot pink and regular pink. And then like yellow, which is bad. Something along this. Yeah, keeps doing a spreadsheet. Yeah, but it's the color scheme. No, but it's a color scheme that like really good and mediocre are almost the same color. That brings me so much joy. Anyway, Tammany Hall is an area control game. You can tell me if you'd like this, Renee. Is an area control game where you are fighting for votes in all of these districts. I guess kind of Chinatown-esque because there's going to be negotiation, but I think you won't like it because it's more heavy on the area control. You'll resolve all of these districts one at a time, and you want to have the most mob bosses in there. And then each of these colored cubes, they represent different influences of the population there. So there's the Irish, the English, the German, and the Italian all throughout the districts, and you want to become the best mayor, and takes place over 4 years, which, according to Renee, is how long it took us to play. So that one is Pat's pick, and that is one that I think would be good to bring. It plays up to 5. The copy I got was secondhand, and we're missing 10 of the meeples, the yellow meeples, I think. Oh, but I can just replace them with Carcassonne if I'm not bringing them, so I've got to do that. So we can play up to 5, so that's good. I'm trying to be mindful of different player count as well as I build these things out, because player count is always important for these sorts of things. What else does Renee want us to bring? Oh yeah, Rear Window.
Little do they know they're not invited to your exclusive soiree where you have a black label top tier shelf of games that never come down unless the worthy are in attendance.
I try to pick games that everybody will enjoy based upon the occasion. This video is going to be much longer because of the peanut gallery. But if you want to get your quotient of cooperative peeping in, well, Rear Window is your ticket. Rear Window is basically just like Mysterium. It's Mysterium. I like it better than Mysterium. Although technically Mysterium might be better because you can play at 7 players with Mysterium. And here it caps out at 5. Although we did play it at 6, so... You know, just like Mysterium, there's going to be a director who's putting out these clues. These clues are going to be in the form of pictures. However, the ghost might be lying to you in this instance. You have to determine if you're being led down the right path or if the ghost is actually a murderer and is trying to convince you of something in the wrong direction.
I bet some people would hate that.
Yeah. And also, too, as the ghost, you get to do a little bit less. That's what Yuval was saying when he played it the other day. Yeah. He said that, like, oh yeah, he got to play for like 5 minutes and then had to wait like half an hour.
I think Dirk said that too.
Yeah, Dirk might have said that too. So I feel like you do get to do a little bit more in Mysterium because also there's that timer in there as the ghost. So I don't know, but I liked it, and you will get the results here. You can see this picture. This means that 4 of these guesses, the A, B, C, and D of the people and what they do, 4 of those 8 are correct. And so you'd go back and be like, okay, so these 4 were correct. It's kind of like Mastermind in that way. It's a cooperative game, maybe cooperative, depending on what happens.
The Mastermind part of it.
Yeah, I like the Mastermind part too. Renee was thinking that maybe her parents might be interested in this. Renee's mom loves a good mystery. Isabel loves a good mystery. She murders someone every day just to see if someone will ever solve it. Well, and she's never been caught. So this is your clue, detective. Please, this is the cry for help. So Rear Window is going to be in. All of these games, every game I'm going to pick up, though, is going to be in the bag. And I don't know what's going to be cut yet. But things that won't be cut, very clearly, we're going to bang through for these small ones. One, cute comical creatures and trying to identify them after somebody makes noises. This is a game I've talked about a lot. Essentially, and it's fantastic, and they're printed on demand. You have all these cute little creatures, and they're making noises, and it's like Dixit, and so many people can play. This will be a fun, stupid one, especially with actors, was an auto-include into the bag. The boxes I need to tape down. Oh, I'm very excited. I think this is going to be one of the hits of the summer. I feel very, very confident in that. To keep the social deduction theme going, well, we've got Cockroach Poker. I brought Skull and One Night Werewolf last year, and now I'm not bringing those. I'm going to bring Cockroach Poker instead. I like the quick speed of Cockroach Poker. It's way better than Spicy. CGE gave me a copy of Spicy, so I'm going to put a little review of that coming up. But spoiler alert, Spicy's not that good, and I was very disappointed in it. Cockroach Poker is better. All right. Next up, we have Coup. Well, that's not... Next up, we have Coup. This is a no-brainer. That's going to be in my bag. I take it on every contract. And one of the people in the show is in my copy. I have a special copy. We played it every day at lunch. And so I'm very excited to put that into my bag. And they're small, right? These small games, it's easy to put into your bags and make sure that they can fit. Just like this next one. That's really small. Distilled. I kind of want to do a review on Distilled. Renee hasn't yet played Distilled, and it's quite enjoyable. This is one that I enjoy the more and more that I play. And it's on alpha right now in Board Game Arena, and it currently is like so played that it's still in like the top 200 on Board Game Arena, and it's still in its alpha, like it isn't even released to the public. Shout out to JB, who is the person who like designed it and made it on BGA. Like the BGA version. It's from Patterson Games. Dave Beck is the designer. And again, the slickest tutorial that I've ever seen at Origins when he was doing it. It was quite good. In Distilled, you are your own brewery. Oh, nice. It's hit 420 on the 420, baby. On BGG, you have 7 rounds to brew the best liquor. And whatever you brew, you can age it over a course of time. But if you age it, generally you're not selling that round. So you have to find this interesting balance of cash flow and not balancing these end of round goals and taking things from the market to give you permanent upgrades or just better ingredients, which you can then sell more. It's really nice. My parents played it. They found it complicated, but they quite enjoyed it as well because of the theme. So yeah, I'm excited to bring that and to play it. And it plays up to 5? Plays up to 5. That's also a good thing to consider when packing the bag. It's very big, though, because, well, it's got a lot of trays in it. And you know what? I think Game Trays did do this design, and it's not completely horrible, which is good for you, Game Trays. And the reason why is because there's mostly trays. The card sorting at the bottom could have used a lid because it can't be stored vertically. But other than that, it's pretty good. So that's something I'd like to bring. Finishing up on the Renee requests, we have Cascadia. And Cascadia versus Verdant. Verdant's actually already in Nova Scotia right now. We left it there because we knew we'd want to play it. I have been enjoying Cascadia more and more, and I used to like Verdant more. I still think I do like Verdant more, but from watching and playing stuff with Cascadia at WSBG, I've really grown to have an appreciation of Cascadia. My boxes are just a mess. And so I'm excited to play this, pull it out. It'll be a good filler. Might be good for outside, too, which could be really, really good. I don't know if I packed it last year or not. I don't think I did pack it last year. So that's one that I'm going to be bringing as well. Cascadia, you probably know it. A dual tile layer, essentially. is what it comes down to. You lay a tile down, and you lay a tile down. I've got a strategy guide over on WSVG's YouTube channel, so check that out if you want to know how to win Cascadia. Okay, what else is over there? We're just going to refer to Board Game Geek because I don't want to get up off my little chair. One thing that I am absolutely bringing... Oh, fine, I'll friggin' stand up. You did this to me. One thing I'm for sure bringing, again, is Rising Sun. My friend Drew did not play with us last year, and that was upsetting. Plus, Pat said that Pat would definitely love to try it again, so absolutely going in the bag. If I have an excuse to play Rising Sun, I'm gonna. Also, if you don't know about Rising Sun yet, you a fool. These are not all gonna fit. These are not all gonna fit. Oh no, I want to bring them all. Especially when people request games, right? Like, I want to make sure that I put all these games into the box. Oh, and there's another one that I haven't even pulled out. The other one that I haven't pulled out, that if I don't bring it now, when the heck am I going to even play it? It's requested. It's on my shelf of shame. It's Fire and Axe, a Viking saga. Raid, trade, and settle territories. A fun little Viking-themed game. I don't know how it plays. I heard about it once upon a time, and I thought it looked good, and it was in a bundle deal, so I got it. So that's one. Here's a skinny box, though. This is one, again, that I would like to do a review on at some point during the summer. This is Hidden Ark. I've got a lot of reviews coming down the line just because of games that I got from PAX and etc. But Hidden Ark is one that I bought myself with my own dollars and upsold myself with Deluxe. It's pretty fun. Also, it's the wrong back. This is a game, it's kind of pick up and deliver. It's kind of just deliver. It's kind of get your resources and deliver. You're going to have these tracks, those action tracks, and you get to add and build to those action tracks. It's an engine builder. You get that engine efficiency as you build through. That one's pretty fun. Is that 4 players? 5. I think the expansion gets it up to 5, which I didn't back. So that's one. This is one that was requested by another friend. This was requested by Dorian. Orbis. A small box. Renee enjoys it. Very kind of Splendor-esque, I would say, in terms of action efficiency and like sort of spewing things out over the course. You're making your own little pyramid tableau. I haven't played in a long time, and you know what? I think of it fondly, so maybe let's throw it in there. Renee will enjoy it, so that one's definitely going in. I'm saying that everything is definitely going in, but I think everything's definitely going in. Some more things that are going in. Dutch Blitz. Easy peasy. Obvious. Completely obvious. Although there's a purple pack now, which gives you different symbols. So if you really want to mix up the symbols in different colors for ease of sorting, get your Dutch Blitz quicker. Although, to be fair, the last few games of Dutch Blitz that I played with Renee, she beat me. And let me tell you, I have not lost this game, and I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to my fine motor skills, and I'm devastated that happened. And so I'm scarred for life, and I'm terrified that I will get beaten again. Let's keep going through the Pat picks. We played Dune Imperium for the first time last time, and Pat said, oh, Dune Imperium and Rising Sun were the ones that he would want to try again out of last summer's fair. And so, of course, it's going to the bag. Honestly, Dune Imperium is something I would play anytime. Really anytime. I'm like, it's shooting up in my own personal rankings. I'm really, really enjoying it. I like the flow. I like the system. And I even just like it base. Uprising is great, but even the base game is great too. So that one's going in the bag for sure. And then this one was a double request from both Pat and Dorian, Tigris and Euphrates, which I am so friggin' thrilled about. You're sort of expanding these networks, these territories, and you're placing your leaders, these different colored leaders down. Everybody has one of each color, and all the leaders can coincide until they meet a leader of the same color. And then a battle is fought, which you use tiles that you've held in reserve. It's Knizia scoring, so you want to constantly be getting points, but you have 4 different points that you have to get. And it's the lowest of these points that actually is your score. So you could have 100 black points. It doesn't matter. If you have 1 red point, your score is 1. So I'm really thrilled that it was requested twice because I love this game and I'm excited to play it. Absolutely excited to play it. Hey, maybe that one would be good outside too. We might be able to play that outside. It's less of an outside consideration now, I think, because we don't do matinees at Shakespeare by the Sea. Before, we used to have like a matinee and then an evening show. But then I got to get, honestly, global warming, it's too hot now. And so because of that, there's less need for those sort of longer outdoor games that you would play in between the shows than the couple hours of the break. But yeah, really, really excited that I'm going to get Tigris and Euphrates to the table. So thrilled. I need to start consolidating some into other games. And this is one that I've consolidated into a deck box because it really is just a deck of cards that is Point Salad. Point Salad is an awesome game. It plays up to 6, a quick filler. Could be a really good lunchtime game, so I'm looking forward to having that in the bag. I realize I'm bringing too many things. I'm only there for 3 months, and I have to work 3 full-time jobs while I'm there. But we can dream. What other point is there to being a board gamer than not to just move your collection around willy-nilly? From hither to thither, you know? One that I want to bring, because I haven't played it yet, and I got it at KublaCon, is The Hunger. This was $10. I thought this looked cool. I think it's got a little bit of a Clank vibe to it. It was $10. I was like, that's a great price, and very excited to try it out. I think it'll be fun. So I want to bring it, because then I bought it, and I don't buy that much, even though I am buying canvas and ink and gold off of somebody tomorrow. The floodgates are open, and I need to close them down. But I think that one does look cool.
Speaking of canvas and ink and gold, I brought them too. No, you have a problem.
Here it is on Board Game Geek. Let's look at the board. Oh yeah. End of a 4-player game. Look, they're counting all the scores. How many people you've eaten. The fact that you have to optimize your card deck and hunt humans to gain victory points is very funny to me. Eventually acquire a rose and return to the castle before sunrise. So that's like the Clank aspect. The more you hunt, the slower both you and your deck become, which will make it harder to get back before daybreak. Can you become the most notorious vampire without burning to ashes at sunrise? During the game, players spend speed to move the vampires around the map, hunt humans worth victory points, and add new cards to their deck. So it's very Clank-esque. I think it looks really cool. And it plays to 6 players. What? Why don't you have that plastered on the side of the box? What a colossal miss. Oh, it's at the back. 2 to 6. Look at that. Oh, absolutely included now. That's so exciting. That's something that I was really trying to make sure I had a good consideration for, is player count. And that's important. So let's talk about the player count ones next, I guess. Yeah, so for social deduction, for large groups, we've got Avalon, which was a huge hit last time, and so obviously needs to be in the bag. We also have Wavelength, which is a great party game, fantastic, better than Codenames, and so that one's was a big hit last time as well. Really good for large groups. I want to be very cognizant about having stuff for large groups, so that's going to be in the bag. Among Cultists, which I haven't yet played, I would really like to bring, although its box thickness is really kind of screwing me over. But it plays 4 to 8 people. There's a good chance I can make that happen pretty consistently. It might be in the same vibe, and it's Among Us, the board game, so I think that'll be fun. And then also, this dumb little game, which so many people around me I know don't like, but I think is very funny. We've got Shifty-Eyed Spies shifted around, where you have to look at a location around the table. There's 4 physical locations at the 4 corners, and you go like, or it's kind of hard to see with glasses with a glare, but you're like, once somebody winks at you, because they want to wink at you because they're like, I have your color, and you're like, there, that's the location. But you also have somebody else's color, so you're trying to find people to wink at and people to locate at as this little briefcase moves around. When it's on your turn, you can be like, I'm delivering a package, and then the first 2 people to kind of team up and get points wins. That was a Pat request, so that one's going in the bag. And it's small, too. I think I'm almost through. Yeah, I've been talking about games for a while, but I think I'm almost through. Another double Dorian and Pat request is Cryptid, where this is one of my favorite deduction games out there. You can play it with 5 people as well. That's a huge boon. Smaller box, fantastic for traveling. And everybody knows one thing about where the monster is. And you're trying to figure out not where the monster is, but what everybody else's thing is. Because then you can isolate that spot on the board. It's fantastic. 3 players, you can really feel smart. Anything more than 3 players, you say, your brain explodes, essentially. So yeah, that one's got to go in. I'm building myself a tower of boxes here. Reviving Kathmandu is going to come because it was requested by Dorian, and This one's in shrink because I've just been using my prototype copy. So I'm going to bring the one that's in shrink that I was going to sell, but I'm going to bring, and then if Dorian likes it, I'll just give it to him. Pretty easy, and it plays 6 players. So I'll give it to him at the end of the summer because it's another great 6-player game. We also have Red Cathedral, which was requested by somebody. I'm forgetting who. This was, I think, Dorian. And so I'd like to bring both the Contractors expansion and the Red Cathedral, but I think Contractors might get cut because the extra board isn't really necessary, although it's really fun. Red Cathedral is amazing. Plays 4 people. One of the best value board games you can buy. You've got this little rondel. You can do 3 things on your turn. You can move one of those dice, the number that is shown on the pips, and take the resources, claim a spot on a tower, or spend those resources to build part of the tower. Super great. Absolutely can fit. And speaking of great and can fit, we have Raw. Raw was a Pat request, and Raw is another one. I think there are 3 WSBG games here that are really shooting up the charts for me. It's Dune Imperium, it's Raw, and well, Brass Birmingham was already on the charts. Brass Birmingham's also there. Brass Birmingham's probably going to be cut, though, because I think I know somebody in Nova Scotia who might own a copy, so we could just play it with them. So Brass Birmingham might be cut because of that. Thankfully it's the skinniest box, and I'm not cutting any good space. But Raw is one that again was requested. I think is a really good game to bring in terms of that auction mechanic and feeling out that sensation of auctioning. It gets everybody really involved. You get the big old wooden piece where you just slam it and shout Raw. It's just a phenomenal production copy of this game, and so I'd probably bring this one anyway. This is actually really covering a huge gamut of stuff that I would bring. Like for me personally, this one isn't going to make the list, but I've been hankering for some Dominant Species Marine recently. I'd like to play that again pretty soon, but it's not going to be this summer because it wasn't requested. And it's a bit more complicated. I don't think that we necessarily have the people there who want to engage with overly complicated heavy games. Like Pat's pretty good. Like both Pat and Dorian, the reason why I had them request things is because they know games, so they could go through my list and request things. That's completely fine. But for the most part, for other people, they're in that I wouldn't want to do anything above like a 3.75 complexity, maybe a 3.5 complexity on BGG. I don't know. I'll have to go to BGG and look up what these games are. Actually, I can probably go back in time. Yeah, Dune is at a 3 complexity, and that feels like a comfy spot for people, right? The Hunger, 2.3, great, easy to get to the table. What's Fire and Axe? That'll actually determine that for me. 2.67. Rising Sun, 3.3. Yeah, nothing above a Rising Sun. Distilled, 2.97. Okay. What's Rear Window? 1.68. Tammany Hall, 2.78. Okay. So yeah, nothing really above a 3.3. 3.2, you're close, Grand Austria. See, I knew Grand Austria was a little bit more complex for people to get under their belts, but I think they can still do it. So I'm pretty much done. I've got 3 more that honestly might be cut. Well, one of them will be. All right, 4 more technically, but because we've already talked about Brass. One is something that just arrived. It's an Age Contrived. I don't know much about this one. I thought it looked neat on Kickstarter. They sent it to me for review, so this I just have to bring for review purposes so that I can get to it and I can get some plays in over the summer. This is a tricky one, and it's probably going to get cut because of the box size, unless I can consolidate it into another game. I can consolidate some games in here, but it's a pretty economical use of space inside here. Pat requested Ark Nova. Pat's been interested in trying Ark Nova. I would like to play it, but I think the other games will take priority, so this is probably going to get cut and not make it into the box, judging by the amount of stuff that I have. Sorry, Pat. Also, Pat requested Heat. Again, too thick a box, although it does play 6 players. Maybe I could consolidate Heat into something else. This does feel ambitious, though. One that's not going to get cut that I really like is Agricola. Agricola is so solid, and you think that it is more complex than it is. But once you get down to it and you really bang it out, it's a really nice, quick worker placement, especially at 2 players. Yeah, I want to bring Agricola because I like this game and I miss playing it. And Brass. Brass is also probably going to get cut because I'm fairly certain that somebody who I know there, Henry, might own a copy of Brass. Henry's the person who also had Food Chain Magnate. Oh, Henry does have Raw, though, too. Henry does have Raw. And no, I still want to bring my coffee raw. It's too good. It's too good. And also, it would be fantastic for outside. I don't know if I did bring it last year, and I'm bringing it again. So there we go. That's what's on my current packing list. Now let's see what I actually managed to get in the bags and what got cut. And then I guess I'll come back here after. Dang. Wonder if there's any little small games, more small games I can fit in. Honestly, let's put this one back in. Unboxed was sent to me along with, I think, Mage Knight. So smaller boxes. This game is really intriguing to me. I don't know if it'll feel like work or not. They said, we've uncovered these components. You got to figure out how to play with them. And I think that sounds fun, but it may be awful. I don't know. I'm excited to try it, though. So I think that'll go back. That'll go in the bag, too. Oh, something that's still in Nova Scotia. It's Sherlock Holmes detective consulting. Not the consulting detectives, but it's not even Sherlock Holmes. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's a mystery one. The Sherlock Files. This one, Sherlock Files, Sinister Secrets. We've been playing through that with Renee's folks, and that's been fun. Anyway, that's there. Let me reiterate. I have 3 full-time jobs. They don't pay like full-time jobs, but they certainly take the amount of work that a full-time job does. And to that, I contribute sort of, YouTube, acting, and WSPG. So, I run out of time, but there will be times when I can have friends and play something. And let's see. I'm going to take a little look and see if there's anything else that I think should be added. 20 strong for when you can't get together. Toss it in the box. God. All right, let's pack this thing. Oh, and then let's show you the damages. Okay, I'm still working on it, but because I might try to be comboing some games together. I've had to make some cuts. However, I do want to shout out friggin' Rear Window for having a really great insert. You're going to take all this and put it in like this. Shebang. All the little tabs, like, beautiful, beautiful. Anyway, is it going to make the cut? I don't know. It's friggin' better after all this bunching out. We'll see. All right. It's the final Packdown. Okay, in bag 1, we have Rising Sun, a must. Tigris and Euphrates, perfect. Dune Imperium, Tammany Hall, and Age Contrived. Wavelength, and I think I can cram Avalon on top there. And then I think I can cram these little Dutch Blitzes there as well. Pretty good for packing. Oh, unless I could fit Rear Window in on top. Rear Window needs a home. That to be determined later. However, what is really great about Dune Imperium and Tammany Hall is that they actually have Among Us and The Hunger inside them. Among Us being this friggin' big, and The Hunger being, a normal size. So that's really good. That's some nice consolidating, because I didn't want to compromise on those. And I kind of wanted to take the box of Among Us, but it was too big. I guess it's for the expansions, but shame on you, Among Us. Shame on you. So very excited about that bag. And then over here, we pretty much got everything in that we wanted. We have Rococo, Distilled, Cascadia can kind of lie on top and it can still close. I've checked. And then we've got Grand Austria Hotel, Agricola, Orbis, Raw, Cryptid, Red Cathedral, Unboxed down there, Cockroach Poker there, Chinatown. And then this is the benefit of having pockets on the side, because I'm putting in Reviving Kathmandu and Shipyard Spies, which are sort of weird shaped. And then, over here, Coup and Point Salad. So the ones that got cut were essentially brass. These are the inserts from Dune Imperium and Tammany Hall. And that was from punching out Rear Window. I think I can fit Rear Window in my suitcase, my tech suitcase. It's small enough, right? It's compact. It's a good size. It's going in there. It's going in a backpack or something. Shh, don't tell Renee. Or tell her, because I'm bringing it, well, for a lot of people. The ones that got cut, Ark Nova was cut. Sorry, Pat. Ark Nova's cut. because too long a box. And if we want, we can play it at a board game cafe. Brass is cut because I think I know somebody who's there. Heat is cut because we're bringing that crockpot. And then fire and axe is cut because, well, it's the same size as that box. And I'm only bringing one of those boxes, and that box is Distilled. So, yeah, I feel pretty good about that. I feel pretty good. So there we go. That's what I am bringing this summer. That's what I'm going to hope. This video took me way too long to make. Oh, no. No. Oh, no. I have so much to do. Oh, it has been a very long month, but I'm excited to hit the road. I'm excited to, obviously, have another theater contract. If you're in the Nova Scotia area, you can come see me at Shakespeare by the Sea. We're doing Alice in Wonderland 12th night, and then we're doing an unrehearsed one night only Macbeth, where it's going to be a great time. We did an unrehearsed Midsummer Night's Dream before, and that was a friggin' blast, where I was bottom. And I don't know how this one's going to go, being a tragedy. That one's easy to be funny, right? Like a comedy's easy to be funny. If things go wrong, it's funny. And so I think this Macbeth will probably be funny. But I have no idea even what I'm going to do yet. It's going to be a very fun time. But in terms of these games, I'm really, really happy that Among Cultists fit into Dune Imperium. I didn't want to sacrifice on that. Tammany Hall almost got cut. I think the hunger is going to hit more, but the fact that they both could combo together meant that I could bring both of them, which I'm excited about. And yeah, I'm quite excited about the selection. I don't know if I have enough filler or lighter weight games. Like, I really had to focus on like lunchtime games before, but I've got Coup. And honestly, I got Coup, I got Dutch Blitz. That's kind of all I need. I have that more midweight and those sort of like 2-hour style games, but I guess Cascadia is quick. Orbis is quick. Raw isn't quicker. So that other shelf with the smaller box, those are kind of quicker. And then I got a few longer couple-hour games, and then a few even longer games with Rising Sun and all that. So there we go. Well, tell me what I'm missing. Tell me what I should have packed. This is the most stressful part about bringing stuff. I also have Assassin's Creed, the collector's edition there, which I'm not reminding Renee that I have there because it's so big, but hopefully, well, we're bringing stuff to leave there, so we'll have the space for when we come back. If Renee comes back, who knows? Anyway, that's it. Let me know what I should have packed, and let me know what I'm really missing in this. And by the time you do, it'll be too late because I'll be on the road. But still, make me feel bad because that's how I have the motivation to keep going and to prove you wrong. See ya.